Hello, I'm Mark,
I'm Casey.
and today we're going to talk about Baltimore, Maryland, and their
Excellent.
plan, which has changed a little bit. But first, let's roll that title, Casey.
You're watching the Tesla Life Express.
Hey, everyone, thanks for joining us today. We've got this article linked below. We're going to talk about, which relates to Baltimore, Maryland. You may have remembered that some time ago, in fact, I guess it was about 6 months ago, last summer, uh, Tesla had managed to land what was described as a $5 million contract with the city of Baltimore for a fleet of EVs for the local government. Um, they were put in competition with other EV manufacturers, and they were compared with those other vehicles, Ford, Chevy. They compared their vehicles' abilities. They looked at how they would operate for the city of Baltimore's fleet. And ultimately, Tesla was selected overall as the best EV for the job that the local government had. But what happened this week is that the mayor, Brandon Scott, decided to pause the investment after the city has decided to go in what they call a different direction. So, according to John Reagan, a spokesman for the city's Department of General Services, he confirmed that the contract with Tesla it has not been fulfilled at this time, and that Baltimore is going to look at some other options for the time being. In fact, he also indicated that no Tesla units have been ordered to this point, and none are in the city's fleet. So that's kind of strange, isn't it, Casey, that they awarded a contract back in the summer, but yet
I
they've
mean,
never
the
purchased one vehicle yet.
yeah. I wonder if they had some objections, like either from like the local unions or uh, just something that we didn't see in the public eye that we probably could look up if we wanted to, but just didn't make the news for whatever reason that held them up on this. Uh, it seems like a long time not to deliver any cars because, like, assume if they had bought it from anyone else, they would have had at least started.
Yeah, like, and typically if you're announcing a contract in the media about,
Yeah.
something you're doing for EV friendly vehicles, that you're trying to reach the city's mandate to go completely emissions free in some particular
5 year.
timetable. What is it? They want to achieve carbon
2030.
neutrality by 2045.
Yeah, neutrality by
Um,
2045 and electrified fleet by 2030.
you would think that you would at least show up on the day of the announcement with, here's the first 5 cars, or
Right.
or
5
something
token
like,
of yeah. One.
here's the first one car,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it would be decked out in Baltimore, Maryland colors, and that just makes sense. But no, this is kind of weird. They also indicated that when pressed on this, why no cars delivered at this point, they indicated that well, this is not necessarily a lockdown contract, that they have to buy them all from the company that won the comparison.
That's a
And
little weird.
again, I say, why would you have a comparison if and would say that this one brand is what we're going to buy? Why would that even happen if
Right.
it's not a traditional type of contract where you're buying the cars from that one dealer, because, or not dealer, but you're buying that car from that one manufacturer because they succeeded in beating out all the competition.
Right. Like what Michigan does their police trials. They say, hey, these ones didn't make the cut, and these ones did. And so you just basically did what they did and said these didn't make the cut. So
Yeah,
why are you picking one that didn't make the cut? What happened?
exactly. So it's kind of a weird situation in Baltimore. I'm not really understanding, and it seems that their spokesman kind of talking in circles. Like, he also said the city has not obligated to spend the money for vehicles from Tesla, and it's evaluating offerings from a variety of OEMs, including Ford and General Motors. Well, those two were compared against Tesla before the summer, and they had indicated that they were subpar compared to what the Tesla offering was. The complete package, again, the winner of this comparison was Tesla. So, what has changed that they are now going back and putting a pause on, and, and putting a pause? That's another statement. They haven't bought any at all. So,
How do you pause if you haven't started?
pause besides, you can go backwards, I guess. You can find an EV meter reader in your fleet, and
Into a gas car?
maybe that would be a step, but
Yeah.
but this particular example, they just haven't done anything at all at this point. So it's something that is really strange when it comes to what's going on here.
Did they didn't have a political shifts in leadership since then, did they?
No.
Okay, so that would be the only thing that would make any sense. Aside from like if they got a really good deal, like hey, Tesla promised us we could get this done for $10 million, and Ford and Chevy got together and figured out how they could do it for 5.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to save you the taxpayer money. Okay,
Yeah.
they didn't say any of that. They
No, it's
did not
just
say any of
it's
that.
just bizarre. It's just
Yeah.
absolutely bizarre. Um, so we don't know what the situation is, but we have put the article down below if you'd like to read it, and put into the comments what you think is going on in Baltimore. Is this because Tesla's gotten a bad name recently? Is this something else? Is there something that's not being written in the article that's telling us, why the situation has changed? But again, the spokesperson doesn't really make sense as to what they're saying. The mayor is kind of being cagey on it. And now we're being told that a contract is really not a contract. They're not obligated to spend any type of money at all. It's something that is just bizarre. So
Right. I mean, even if I was opposed to this as a citizen of theirs, I would be upset with this statement. Like, you, you're being irresponsible. You've got making these statements that are not statements. What else is a purchase that's not a purchase in our fair town? Uh,
yeah, yeah, exactly. And again,
uh,
again, why didn't they buy just a token one to begin with? Like, why was it? Why is it announced in December and then nothing happens all the way to this point? If you
but
happen to
next,
be in Baltimore and have some inside information on this, please enlighten us in the comments. We'd love to hear what your take is on it. If this is your local government, because again, the statements coming out of Baltimore at this point really don't make a lot of sense.
yeah, I had speculated before the show. I said, well, maybe there was a protest or they're being sued or something that would show up in the record, but not to the point where the news bothered to report on this.
Yeah.
Or if you are there and this is one of the few places left where you gotta go downtown to look at the public records if you got the time and you care to look, please do enlighten us.
Yeah, because there is something else going on. You can't have this kind of wishy washy a contract that's not a contract that could be a contract, and we're not really obligated to do anything because it's not a contract in the traditional sense. So it
Yeah,
just to have a competition that somebody wins and then say we're now going to go in different directions. We'd rather get the subpar vehicle, the one that's more expensive, or the one that doesn't give us all the options that we wanted. It's just wow, pretty
right.
bizarre, pretty bizarre.
They offered an extra car for every 10 that we got. The punch card right here. Buy one.
Exactly, exactly. Well, with that, I think we'll wrap. Casey, what do you got for shout outs for us?
Catch us in if you're watching this as it comes out. Catch us in 2 days for the Tesla Life Live show, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Tesla Live show. And you may have noticed that our timing is an hour ahead of when you might be expecting it, because in North America we just play with our clocks. And
And everyone is
uh,
still catching up as to what time it actually is.
yes, and then our friends in England will do theirs after that, and then the rest of the world should catch up. Of the ones that play with the clock, it's a mess, and we got to stop it. But
That's another show. That's another show.
other show, well, we could do a whole show on it, but we're not.
Thanks so much for joining us today, and we'll get together next time and find out what's happening in the Tesla life. Good night, everyone.